What the...
Heya! Long time no see, Shugo. I didn't expect to run into you here, of all places. I realized it would be rude of me to intrude, so I just stood and watched you guys. But seriously, the immature and clumsy way you guys act really gets under my skin.
Nana-san?
Wait, there's no need to pull yourself away from him so frantically, Kazuna-kun. I'm the one who feels awkward here. It's as though I've intruded on a pair of dogs mating or something.
Dogs?
Kazuna goes stiff from shock. Come on, Nana. Why the hell are you always turning up where I'm planning to go?
Oh, Shugo, you're being too self-conscious. Let's chalk it up to mere coincidence. Besides, I've been here since yesterday. I'm heading back to Tokyo soon.
Since yesterday?
Just the other day, I discovered a strange family crest with a hexagonal shape inscribed inside. I came here to investigate the Narahashi family, which has some connection to it.
Huh? Hexagonal? Nara?
The shape of the Narahashi's family crest is well known. In addition, their business has been pharmaceuticals for generations, which means they're chemists.
Huh? As usual, I haven't the slightest clue what she's talking about.
Man, Shugo, you really are ignorant, aren't you? I suppose they do say that people with more faults are more attractive. You know, I love the fact that your brain is so full of holes. You feel the same way, do you not, Kazuna-kun?
Kazuna's completely flustered after she's suddenly brought into the conversation.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? You were openly professing your love so passionately just a few moments ago.
What? Nana-san, don't tell me that you saw it all.
There's an ominous grin on her face.
You were both ever so cute. I'm ashamed to admit this, but I was quite close to getting a little bit wet.
What?
Once again, Kazuna goes rigid with shock. Cut it out! Kazuna, stop talking to her. Just the act alone will make you go nuts. We're in a hurry, so we're taking off right now. I take her by the hand and start to walk off.
Aw, I'm so jealous of how intimate you guys have become. I'd like to join your little circle after I've finished with this case. Is that okay with you, Kazuna-kun?
Huh?
No, don't talk to her.
You're so innocent, Shugo.
We keep plowing ahead without turning around. Her demonic cackles chase us from behind as flurries of snow swirl about us. We find a tiny inn on the outskirts of the village. Just as I had predicted, business is rather slow. We're the only customers staying over. The proprietress tells us with a wry smile it was just about to close up for the night, as she shows us inside. And a little while after we've settled into our room. What's the matter, Kazuna? Not gonna sit? She's been acting strange ever since we got inside. What's with all that fidgeting around and blushing?
Oh,
Hey, Kazuna. What's wrong with you? Why are your cheeks so red?
well, because we're staying in the same room, right?
You got a problem with that?
No, it's not that, but
Well, that's good.
there's only a single single futon laid out.
What, you got a problem with that?
No, I don't.
Well, that's good.
Yes, I do have a problem with it. What's the big deal? Are you insinuating that I should just get myself ready to lie down and take it?
She's spewing absolute gibberish, but I understand perfectly what she's trying to say. Yeah, something like that, I guess.
How can you agree so casually? Is this some kind of inevitable, fated outcome I can no longer escape from?
Maybe.
Okay, I understand. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Kazuna leaps up with her hands balled into fists.
I'm going to take a bath.
She declares with great gusto.
I'm going to give myself a good scrub, so make sure you take a bath too, please.
Sure.
Okay, I place myself in your capable hands afterward.
I hear the sound of Kazuna scampering out of the room. She's just so damn cheerful. This place doesn't hold a candle to the open-air bath at the Yukishiro, but it's elaborate in its own way. I relax and soak away all the weariness from my long day. Thinking about what's going to happen after this makes my crotch start to swell, so I'll make an effort to keep it out of my head for the moment. Around 30 minutes later, I get out of the bath and return to my room. And illuminated by the faint light of a lamp, is Kazuna sitting in the middle of the futon waiting for me.
Time to get up, Shugo-san! It's morning!
My futon suddenly yanked off.
Hey, rise and shine! Are you awake yet, Shugo-san?
I look over to find Kazuna already changed, ready to head out. What the heck? You're up pretty damn early.
Well, of course. Women have lots of things to take care of in the morning, like makeup and stuff.
Oh, you put on makeup, Kazuna?
What, you got a problem with that?
Well, you're pretty damn cute without it. I don't think you need it at all, to be honest.
Seriously?
Nah, I was just flattering you. Thunk. Ow! She delivers a hearty kick to the side of my gut.
Stop this nonsense and get out of bed already. The proprietress just told me that breakfast is ready, and that we should head down to the dining hall.
Oh, come on, I just got up, for crying out loud. I scratch my head. It's nothing to be proud of, but I'm pretty well known for being cranky in the morning.
I've had it up to here with you!
In exasperation, Kazuna drags me out of the futon.
Come on, take off your yukata by yourself.
No way, it's too damn cold in here. Thunk. Ow! Her fist sinks into my gut.
Okay, I'll help you out then. Turn your arms towards your back and stretch them out.
I do as she says, and my yukata is promptly stripped off.
Now it's time for your kimono. Okay, reach your arms around back again.
Kazuna, did your personality just change? She's being a lot more forceful than she's ever been.
Well, that's because
She blushes.
I'm not a little girl anymore. I gotta look after you without getting annoyed. Your habits are so slovenly after all.
She looks up at me. It's kind of galling for some reason, so I decide to give her a thump on the head in return. Thunk.
What the heck are you doing, Shugo-san?
Oh, my bad. I'm not sure why I did that.
Not sure why? Isn't it cruel to bonk someone on the noggin with a reason like that? It's strange, isn't it? There's something wrong with it.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize.
There's something strange about that, too. If you're going to apologize so casually, then why on earth did you hit me on the head in the first place?
Just because?
What kind of reason is just because?
Like I was saying... The proprietress comes looking for us after 20 minutes because she finds it strange that nobody has come down for breakfast. Nonplussed, we continue our futile argument. We call Kohzuki Keiichiro via telephone from our inn to arrange a meeting time. He seems rather unwilling, but after I tell him I want to report on the status of Yura's search, Keiichiro reluctantly agrees. The country lane over to the Kohzuki mansion is blanketed with snow. I look over at Kazuna, who's walking along beside me. Her cheeks are flushed pink due to the cold, and each breath she takes sends up a puff of white steam. Look, I'm sorry about this. I feel bad for dragging you all the way out here without giving you a proper explanation. What we're going to discuss today isn't going to be very pleasant for you. That's because it's going to be about what happened 10 years ago. It might be tough on Kazuna when she's finally confronted with the cold hard facts, since she's not an outsider to the family like me.
Shugo-san.
However, Kazuna doesn't seem to have any qualms.
No matter how painful this may be, I'm ready. I want to know the truth.
The truth?
Yeah, I want to know what happened to my sister 10 years ago, and why her father has been keeping it a secret.
She looks me straight in the eyes as she speaks.
That's why you needn't worry about me, Shugo-san. This is what I want.
Okay, I've got it. I'm somewhat dazzled by how strong and determined Kazuna seems. We're shown inside the moment we arrive at the mansion.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Kohzuki Ryoko, Kazuna's mother, greets us gloomily.
Sorry for not stopping by much lately.
Ryoko's response to Kazuna's timid apology is a blank look. Ryoko guides us down the silent hallway. We're shown into the living room, which is decked out with expensive-looking furniture.
I shall go fetch my husband.
Ryoko bows and leaves the room, her face an expressionless mask. Just like when I visited here 10 days ago, the Kohzuki mansion is deathly silent, as though nobody lives here. Even though the building itself is so massive, they don't have a single servant on hand.
Shugo-san? Please don't think too badly of her.
Kazuna suddenly turns to me, her voice fraught with concern. You mean your mother? I don't really mind. I was already expecting not to be welcome here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Kazuna's looking down at the ground, her shoulders slumped over in misery. Do you just not get along well with her? That's what worries me. A troubled expression spreads over Kazuna's face.
I actually haven't met Ryoko-san very many times before. Apparently, she doesn't really like me or my sister, so...
Well, that's plain enough to see. From the way Kazuna's been acting, I can grasp that Ryoko's pretty distanced from the children of her husband's ex-wife. A moment of unease passes through my brain. And Yura had been living all by herself in this house.
Yeah.
Kazuna's expression clouds over.
If only I had paid more attention to my sister's plight.
We probably both feel the same way about Yura. Feelings of regret and guilt. It's not too late. We'll find Yura, and if she's in trouble, we'll save her and bring her happiness. That's what we came here to do, right? Kazuna's eyes brighten up.
Yes, you've taken the words right out of my mouth. What's important is what happens from here on out.
Right. But the moment I open my mouth to reply...
Excuse me. Sorry to keep you waiting.
I quickly shut up and bow toward Keiichiro.
Well then, you said you had something to report about the investigation.
He regards me with a look of skepticism. Keiichiro slides his eyes over to Kazuna suspiciously as well. Yes. Well, it's no surprise. To him, this whole investigation I was hired for was nothing but a farce. There's no doubt in my mind that he never expected to be sitting here across from me receiving a report about it. However, several truths have come to light in the 10 days or so that I've been on the case. I proceed, paying no heed to his glares. I tell him about how a woman resembling Kohzuki Yura was sighted in the slums of Ueno. About how she had gotten entangled with one of the bosses of the Hand of Death, and how others have witnessed that she's somehow connected with Senri, a religious cult. His expression grows more and more grim as I delve onwards.
That's enough!
He suddenly cuts me off. Is there a problem with my report?
Takashiro-kun,
Keiichiro glares daggers at me.
what in blazes did I hire you for?
Why, to find your daughter Kohzuki Yura, right?
Yes, that's true. That's true. But
He sounds annoyed as he glances over at Kazuna. If we assume that woman is indeed Yura-san, then that shows us a clear picture of her actions over the last 2 years. But that leaves us with a problem, the route that led her to do those things. A cult, the Hand of Death. How on earth did Yura-san become connected to the seamy underbelly of society? The clues to that lie in the accident that happened 10 years ago, and what happened between then and when she disappeared 5 years ago.
this is absolute hogwash. You sure take an interest in the most trivial of matters, don't you? In the first place, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. It's Kohzuki family business. I'm not going to tell an outsider like yourself.
And right at that moment,
Well, Father, will you tell me then?
Kazuna jumps to her feet and shouts at him.
What did you say?
I'm a member of the Kohzuki family. I want to know what really happened to my sister.
Keiichiro glares at me.
Takashiro-kun, did you perhaps tell?
He finally realizes why Kazuna is here as well. Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. I shrug, flashing him a wry smile. I'd wanted to talk things over in a calmer fashion, but I guess that's out of the question now. I guess one thing led to another and, well, I basically spilled the beans to Kazuna.
You son of a bitch! How dare you!
Father!
Kazuna jumps in between us.
Why? Why have you been hiding this from us?
Shut up! Get out of here!
Keiichiro's eyes turn bloodshot in his rage.
No! I will not shut up! I'm not going to give up until you tell me the truth.
You little...
It happens so fast I don't even have time to stop him. Slap! Kazuna totters and falls backward. Kohzuki-san, you... If he's going to go so far as to strike his own child, surely it must be some kind of terrible secret.
I've had enough of this. I was a fool to place my trust in a man like you. My request for your job is hereby withdrawn. Now get out of my house.
Keiichiro points toward the exit, his face haggard. I ignore him and continue talking. There's one thing that's been bothering me about those rumors going around 10 years ago. They use the word possessed, right? It appears that Yura-san was shut away inside a room not because of an accident, but because of mental illness. No, imprisoned might be a better word. Have you heard any rumors to that effect?
What a bunch of rubbish. There's no credibility to any of those rumors.
But you're so concerned with how society views your family, are you not? He falls silent, his face grim.
Father?
It's then that I hear someone laughing. Huh? Kohzuki Ryoko, left out of our conversation, is standing there laughing. She looks over with great amusement at us arguing.
Oh dear. You're all so serious.
She giggles like a giddy little girl, something rather uncharacteristic when you consider her previous behavior. I can see the glint of something approaching madness in her eyes.
Ryoko, what are you doing?
Dear, just give up. Why don't you just tell them so they can get out of here? If they've found out that much already, they're bound to figure out the rest at some point.
Ryoko-san,
Kazuna addresses Ryoko timidly.
do you know anything about my sister?
Oh no, only bits and pieces. My husband acted out on his own selfish desires and sold off Yura-san.
Sold off? While I'm struggling to comprehend what she just said, Keiichiro raises his arm to strike once again.
Shut up, woman!
Ryoko-san!
Kazuna helps Ryoko up after she's crumpled to the carpet.
You ungrateful bitch. You always say too much.
He's completely lost his cool. Keiichiro stalks toward Kazuna and Ryoko with his fists clenched. Please calm down, Kohzuki-san. I hurriedly throw myself between him and the ladies. I have to do something here. He's gone completely berserk with rage.
Get out of my way. I can do what I want with my women.
You really need to get with the times, dear. Women don't even have the right to speak. Give it a rest.
What did you say, you...
Stop it, you two! After I shout out in anger, the room falls silent for a split second. Come on, Kohzuki-san. All we want are some clues that will help us locate Yura-san. I won't breathe a word about this. I also won't do anything that will trouble the Kohzuki family. So please, could you just tell us? I think it'll save you some trouble in the future if you just tell us now instead of making us guess. How about it? He stares me down hatefully.
You swear you won't tell a soul?
I promise. I nod my agreement immediately. Keiichiro seems hesitant, but finally succumbs, a deeply troubled look on his face.
All right, I'll tell you. There was always something odd about that girl.
Keiichiro begins his story hesitantly. Back then, the Kohzuki family was impoverished. They were one of the old, powerful families in Zushi, but only in name. Without any source of income, they started selling the land passed down from their ancestors. Keiichiro disapproved. He became the successor of the Kohzuki family after the eldest son died young, and used that opportunity to collect and spend the remnants of the Kohzuki savings to start up a business. As the war continued to escalate, he set his goals on distributing goods and medicines to troops deployed abroad. Of course, that wasn't a business that a young man without financial backing could easily achieve. However, things were looking good for Keiichiro. The Kohzuki family predecessors had a lot of contacts in the financial world who should have been amicable toward young Keiichiro.
However,
He breathes a deep sigh.
not a single one of them would help me out. Well, it makes sense when I look back on it now.
Keiichiro crinkles his face in agony after thinking about the humiliations of his past.
I'd used up all the money I'd collected, and we were on the verge of bankruptcy. There was nothing left for me to do, and I'd pretty much given up.
Wow, I had no idea things were so bad.
Kazuna interjects casually. You didn't know that? It's your own family we're talking about here.
Yeah, embarrassing as it may be.
Keiichiro flashes a wry grin after he takes a look at Kazuna.
Well, that's because she'd already run away from home at the time.
You may speak badly about her, but I think deep down inside he actually cares for her. Keiichiro's rejection of his daughter's acting career probably stemmed from the fact that he just wanted to keep her at home. But then, why on earth would he shun her twin sister Yura so much?
At that point, a certain young man came to visit me.
Indifferent to the questions my mind raised, Keiichiro plows on with his story.
Would you let us assist you in your business venture?
He introduced himself as a researcher working for a laboratory in Tokyo. The man wore a gray suit. He was a polite, unassuming young lad. Keiichiro thought him suspicious. He'd visited many medical institutions, but none of them were like the one the young man told him about. He hadn't even heard the name before.
I see. Well, our institution is special. Our existence is hidden from regular civilians.
He shrugged his shoulders like a foreigner.
Would you really be willing to make this deal with me?
Keiichiro's joy at being able to start his own business won out over his suspicion.
Of course, Kohzuki-san.
The young man lowered his voice.
We do have one condition, however. We request that you accept it unconditionally.
A condition. Here it comes.
Keiichiro thought. There's no way such a sweet deal would go over so easily.
Right. I don't think this would go over too well with you, Kohzuki-san.
The young man searched for what to say.
Please, just say it. I'll do anything in my power.
Keiichiro strengthened his resolve. If he let this one go, there wouldn't be a second chance. The man suddenly changed the topic.
By the way, Kohzuki-san, you have twin daughters, correct?
The man smiled and continued.
In particular, we've heard rumors that the older one possesses some kind of mysterious power.
Keiichiro was taken aback. How did this young man know about Yura?
No need to be so suspicious. Our institution specializes in that sort of thing.
He shrugged once again.
The name Kohzuki Yura popped up in the information we gathered. That's pretty much it.
Keiichiro was at a loss for words. An image of his daughter Yura surfaced in his mind. She was rather creepy, after all. Those deep, unfocused eyes of hers. She would repeat incomprehensible gibberish day in and day out. In stark contrast to her healthy, cheerful sister, Yura cultivated a dark, ominous aura about herself. Every time she affixed him with her soulless eyes, Keiichiro felt a little part of himself that cared for her die. Though nobody ever openly said anything about it, at some point the people in the village had started avoiding Yura, shunning her as some kind of abomination. And above all else.
So what do you want with Yura?
The man's reply was short and simple.
I'll be frank with you. We'd like to use her as a research subject.